Hi, everyone. It's Carol Williams with Williams Immigration back for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So, y'all know I like to dive right on in. And you also know it's H-1B season because you're probably already tired of hearing me talk about it. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about H-1B season. H-1B season is in full swing, everybody. It is absolutely in full swing. USCIS has made some changes to this particular CAP season, so I will be going over those changes again with you, just in case you are unaware of them, as well as our current H-1B timeline as we know it. So at the end of this month, on February 28th, two things happen. One is USCIS will launch and make live their, what I'm calling enhanced My USCIS accounts. What these accounts are allowing us to do are to have better communication within your organization and with your outside immigration counsel. And two, it's allowing us to file the H-1B applications online with the associated premium processing requests. So in February 28th, those enhanced accounts will go live. If you already have a My USCIS account, you do not have to do anything. Those enhancements will just turn on February 28th. If you don't already have a My USCIS account, you will need to create a My USCIS account specifically for CAP season, and you can do that February 28th as well. The other thing that happens February 28th is they have turned on those enhanced accounts, but if you want to file an H-1B application, an extension application, you can do that on February 28th using your enhanced USCIS account. So those are the two things that happen on February 28th. One, the enhanced accounts go live. Two, you can start using them to file your H-1Bs and an associated premium processing request online. If you choose to file online, you can still file using paper. That is still 100% an option. The next thing in our timeline for H-1B season is March 6th through March 22nd. That is the lottery registration timeline. So noon Eastern Standard Time on both of those days. So noon on March 6th is when the lottery opens. Noon on March 22nd is when it closes. So those are the dates by which you can get yourself entered into the H-1B lottery. Remember, it is noon Eastern Standard Time. So do the time zone math now, figure it out. Don't be caught at the last minute. The next important date in that timeline is April 1. That is when USCIS will begin accepting the CAP applications. So if you are chosen in the lottery, you can file no earlier than April 1. So they haven't told us exactly the days that they are going to run the lottery thus far, but it will be sometime after March 22nd. I'm sure myself, with all of my other colleagues and all of you, will be checking our My USCIS accounts, okay? Important things to also know. During the initial launch of these enhanced accounts, if you file your application, your H-1B application using paper, so just plain Jane, I-129, I-907 on the paper, you will not be able to link those to your My USCIS account for this year's CAP season. And remember that the premium processing fee increase will go up just in time for H-1B CAP season. So remember, if you're filing premium processing, your CAP cases, your H-1B premium processing filing fee will be the new premium processing filing fee, which will be $2,805. So keep that in mind. The second thing I want to talk to y'all about are the increased filing fees for USCIS. USCIS is a fee-based agency. It means that they run their agency largely based on the fees from the applications, and they have not raised the fees since 2016, I believe. So The fee rule is here. It is here to stay. It will take effect on April 1 of this year. So anything postmarked on or after April 1 must have the new fees associated. So a few things to know about this new fee rule. Again, April 1 is when the fees go up. Premium processing timeline has now been changed from calendar days to business days. So if you were used to 15 calendar days, we now have to rethink premium processing because it will now be 15 business days, which essentially gives the agency more time to process these cases. Still faster than normal processing, but remember, on April 1st, premium processing is now business days and not calendar days. So if you're counting, remember that you also need to consider any holidays right around the time that you file. The rule also allows for a $50 discount being used loosely, for some applications that are filed online versus sending them via paper. The agency is really trying to push people to move towards online filing, and they have decided apparently to incentivize that with a $50 sort of discount, if you will, for filing online. Super important with this fee rule. When you are filing an adjustment of status for your green card, the EAD, your employment authorization document, and your advance parole, your travel permission document are no longer free. Those are no longer going to be included in that adjustment of status fee. So we will now have separate filing fees for the adjustment of status, the EAD, and the advance parole. Remember that come April 1st when we are filing. The asylum program is now being partially subsidized, according to this new rule, by employment-based, non-immigrant, and employment-based green card applications. So there will be an additional filing fee. The monies from those additional filing fees, essentially applications that are submitted on the Form I-129 and the Form I-140, there will be an additional filing fee. That additional filing fee is based on the size of the company, and that additional filing fee will go to help run the asylum program. So that is sort of a non-negotiable additional fee that we have. And back to the Form I-129. As you know, the I-129, it is a non-immigrant visa form. It is used, I don't know, I think the form is like 30 some pages, if I remember correctly, but it is used for several different non-immigrant visa categories. And it used to be, well, it will still be up until April 1st, but currently that form for years and years and years has had one filing fee for all of those different visa categories. Immigration is putting a stop to that. So H-1Bs, Ls, Os, TNs, and E-2s are no longer all going to be $460, that base filing fee. They now will have different base filing fees, even though they're still going to be using the same form. So that is something new that they have switched up in this rule. So that's what we have for this week that I wanted to tell you about on these new fees that are taking effect April 1. The next thing I want to talk about are sort of the USCIS and Department of State sort of fiscal year 2023 highlights. They released a document, I don't know, it's about 14 pages, about things that they felt that they had done really well, things that, places where they thought they had progressed as an agency. And so I just picked out a few of those that I thought would be interesting for you all. One thing that I personally thought was pretty interesting was that there were over 192,000 employment-based visas approved between USCIS and the consulates abroad. That's kind of a hefty number, but over 192,000 employment-based only. So that doesn't include any of our family applications. And all together, across all categories, USCIS indicated that they processed 10.9 million immigration applications. So that's a fairly large number. I always say to you all, having worked inside the agency, I have a healthy respect for the process within the agency, just by getting the application in the door and getting it processed and getting notification back out to the parties, whether it's a company, and an individual family, an attorney. It is a massive, massive operation. And one of the things that they also said in this document, their fiscal year 2023 goals and highlights, was that they swore in 878,500 new US citizens in the past fiscal year. So I just bring those up. I just thought those were interesting numbers, that I thought y'all might be interested in as well, as I perused that recently. And the last thing I want to talk to y'all about really quickly is another national interest waiver tip. So we know that the national interest waiver is a second preference green card category. You must show three things. You must show that your proposed endeavor has both substantial merit and national importance to the United States, that you, as the beneficiary, are well positioned to advance that proposed endeavor, meaning once you get the green card, are you in a place, are you qualified, are you able, do you have the resources, do you have the background knowledge to move that endeavor forward? And three, on balance, is it beneficial to the United States to waive the usual EB-2 requirements, meaning waive the requirements of having a job offer, having an employer sponsor the application, and having that employer complete the labor certification application process and advertise for the position? So those are the three criteria. Immigration Service needs to see through documents that you meet that criteria. So I sometimes chat with people about whether they meet the criteria for a national interest waiver. They have done wonderful things in their career, wonderful things in their profession. They have these wonderful ideas to move forward in their profession, but they don't have documents to back up what they have done and what they want to do. If USCIS doesn't have documents that back up and show that you meet the criteria, they're going to be forced to deny the application. So while I always say that, there's no right number of citations, you have to have documents. And so if you don't, and you have this wonderful idea, but it's all in your head and you haven't documented it and you haven't done any market research, or you have no background in this new particular area, it's going to be harder for the Immigration Service to approve the application. So keep that in mind. A large part of the national interest waiver is, do you have the documents that show that you meet the criteria? So that is my tip: document, 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 and more documents. That is all I have for you this glorious Monday morning. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a great week. And if you need any help with your H-1B cap cases, with national interest waiver cases, you're wondering about what the new fees are, please feel free to reach out to my office. We are happy to help you. So have a great rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.